Welcome back to another episode of Harmonious at Lunch, the show that fuels your business success. I'm Brandon Gano, your host and guide through the world of harmonious business growth. Today, we're unlocking powerful strategies with industry experts to help your business thrive. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or executive, you are in the right place. Join me and our incredible guests today on the journey to clarity, growth, and success. It is time to revolutionize your approach to business. Let's dive in with another episode of Harmonious at Lunch. Welcome back into another weekly update of the Harmonious at Lunch podcast, another update. I hope you're liking these. This is episode number 4 or weekly update number 4. I'm enjoying recapping the week of episodes. I know for me personally, I record so many of these episodes. We've got over 360, I believe, recorded at this point, which is crazy to think about. But going back over them one extra time gives me the refresher of what was talked about, the things to learn and take away. And I'm human just like you are. Sometimes there's really great episodes that I love in the moment, but I don't actually do anything with it because, again, I'm a human. And it's giving me that chance to go back and re-listen to it or at least just remember what I learned and what those takeaways are. So I hope you like it for that too. If you missed any of the episodes, we had 4 great guests this week. We had Matt Diamante, Hunter Jensen, Amber Gage, and Cindy Baker. We talked about a variety of different topics, covered the whole spectrum. We stayed a lot in the category of business again, didn't venture too much out into the personal side, the mindset, relationships, personal health. But we do have a couple more of those episodes coming up in the very near future. So stay tuned for those, and I hope you're subscribed already. But let's go. My recommendation is if you wanted to remember, or if you want to remember, any little nuggets of wisdom from one of these episodes, go back and listen to them. Go listen again. You're going to hear it differently the second time than you did the first. They're short. They're all under 20 minutes. And who knows, you might pick up something that's actually crucial for you growing your business and having some sort of success or overcoming a challenge that's been just nagging you for a while. So that's my 2 cents. That's what I get out of it, is revisiting it a second time, even if it's quick, skimming through it. Or maybe this episode jogs your memory of something you wanted to do. Take that time, go back and do it, and grow your business. That's why we're here. Let's dive in with Matt Diamante, Monday's episode, Organic Social Media Growth. If you've listened to this show for more than 10 minutes, you have probably heard me say I hate social media, like with a passion. I can't stand it. Let me toss the episode cover on the screen, the thumbnail here. If you're watching, I'll be sure to update the thumbnails on the screen so you know what to go look for in YouTube. But I'm sorry, that's not the right one. Let's try this one more time. There we go. Social media in 2025. So this episode really made me think about how simple it could be to use social media to grow your business, and how much we're overcomplicating it all at the same time. So, I don't like social media. It's because everybody says you have to have all these complex metrics and all these fancy graphics and editing. And Matt was like, no, you just got to be consistent. You need 2 things. You have to be consistent, and you have to have a really powerful hook. If your first 3 seconds doesn't engage your audience or your target audience, you're not going to really have success on social media, which I fully agree with. So I think social media is a valuable tool. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate it because I don't think it works. I hate it because, I just haven't found a way to be consistent personally, and create good hooks. But if you can do those 2 things, if you can create great hooks and you can produce a couple of videos a week, nothing crazy at the beginning, and then you can be consistent, I think Matt's formula can actually really help you grow your business, grow a following, and absolutely take off using free social media. He doesn't do any sort of paid advertising, anything like that. Everything he does on social media is completely organic. He's got millions of followers on Instagram alone, and then even more across all channels. And he did it in a very short period of time by doing those 2 things. So if you take nothing away from that episode with Matt, not only was he a fun, awesome guest to have a conversation with, but his methodology is very, very simple. So again, first 3 to 4 seconds, master the hook and get people engaged so that watch time increases, and then be consistent. Show up daily. And actually, he's at the point now where he puts out 3 videos per day. Not all of them go viral, but a lot of them do. And he gets a good number of followers, but then also interactions and business on the backside. That's the most important part for me because he wasn't just talking about getting followers and vanity metrics. No, these are actually converting into clients for him in his business because he's talking to a specific person, a specific avatar, speaking their language, showing that he can solve their problem, and then having fun and doing it on social media. So he's not he's not an influencer by any means, or at least he wouldn't classify himself like that. Although you could argue that he is an influencer in the digital marketing space, but he's got a boring business. He's talking about marketing. He even said it himself on the episode, and he's having amazing success on social media. So go listen to that episode, see what you can take away from it again. Maybe it's even worth hiring somebody on your team or making that part of somebody's role who's already on your team and seeing what you can do to increase your presence and your influence, if you will, on social media. Really cool episode. Thanks, Matt, for stopping by. Tuesday's episode, Hunter Jensen getting an ROI in AI. Toss that one on the screen. Practical AI steps. This was a great episode. AI is all the rage, of course, and I know we've had a number of guests on the show talking about AI recently and how you can use it, different use cases, different verticals, different industries. Hunter was, from the minute he came backstage before we started recording, he was all about the no nonsense. How do you actually make sure AI is working for you and you're getting an ROI out of your AI? They are fun tools, fun toys, easy to get distracted, but it's not all about the hype in AI. We're far enough in now where there are really good and powerful tools that if you're not measuring the ROI you're getting, or you're not anticipating and projecting what sort of ROI you should be getting out of them, you might be wasting your time and money. And that was Hunter's whole focus. So he was he asked some powerful questions about what are you doing with AI, and are you sure it's boosting your productivity and it's actually getting you an ROI, or are you just having fun and playing with it? So really, really interesting conversation. And he also talked about securing your data with AI. I think that's another big thing where companies and employees, if a company doesn't embrace AI, your employees probably are. And they might be putting information into that AI, think ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever, in an unsecured and unsafe manner. That might open up your company to risks, data breaches, all sorts of other things. So making sure that AI is a strategy within your company. It's also a risk and defense conversation that's the reference to the Harmonious business architecture. The R stands for risk and defense. If you're not talking to your employees about how to protect themselves using AI, how to protect the company data, client data, all the other things that go with cybersecurity that we did touch on last week with Michelle, by the way, Michelle Novak. So if you haven't heard that episode, it ties together beautifully with Hunter's episode here, making sure that AI is producing an ROI and you are staying safe while using these tools. Really cool episode. Make sure you go listen to that. If you haven't heard what AI is, I'm kidding. That would be crazy at this point. But if you're not using it or you don't think you're using it to its maximum potential, go check out that episode with Hunter because he will open your eyes to how you should be viewing AI. We didn't get into tools and tactics and specific use cases, but generally speaking, what's the strategy you should be using to make sure it's working for you and not just a waste of time, effort, energy, and money. Let's move on. Wednesday's episode with Amber. Amber, we talked about marketing for small business and avoiding marketing mistakes. Amber was a phenomenal guest. I love that she stopped by. Thank you, Amber, for coming by. We talked about her framework, the 4 C's of marketing: clear copy, consistent branding, customer demographics, and channel management. She broke down marketing in a way that's very, very simple that would allow you as the entrepreneur to really audit where you are in marketing. If you have a budget to pay an outside agency or hire third-party vendors, you can kind of audit what they're doing too, which I think is always powerful. We, as business owners, we want to delegate solutions, or we want to delegate problems, not solutions. We want to delegate our problems and have somebody else solve and manage them in most cases. And marketing is one of those areas where it's so complex. There's so much to do. It's so easy to waste money there that we often tend to just trust the experts. What I liked about Amber's framework here, the 4 C's, was she gives you the power to go through, audit how your company is showing up, from an objective lens, take an outsider's approach and say, if I'm hiring somebody else, are they performing at a level where this brand is going to show up and communicate clearly to a potential client? Or are we maybe confusing the market a little bit? So take that step back, evaluate your brand, whether it's you doing the marketing as the owner, whether you've hired an agency or it's one of your team members, employees. Take that step back and see what is really going on in marketing and how can we up level it. We also dove into how to know your buyer on a deeper level so you have a better chance of converting and communicating with them, and nurturing your buyers, your leads, your customers, to make sure that they consistently work with you and accelerate up that value ladder, so to speak. We wanted to make sure, or Amber wants to make sure, you're not just spamming people, but you're actually providing value. And she gave a couple of ways to do that in the episode. So I know marketing is always a buzz topic for people because it's fun, but this was one of those episodes where, again, it makes you step back and think, am I doing this the right way? Even if you're getting great results, it can't hurt to just do a self audit and say, am I checking these 4 boxes? Is there room for improvement here? It's not, marketing is not one of those things where you can take a set it and forget it approach. It would be great if you could, but there may be better results to be had. The market may have changed since you set that marketing in place, whatever channels you're on. And it's always a good time to take a step back, review it, and see if there's some things you could do differently to get better results. So thank you again, Amber. Let's move on to the last episode of the week, which was on Thursday. Cindy Baker. Cindy, we talked about, that's right, ADD and how to use it for your superpower. I think this was an interesting episode because a lot of entrepreneurs I talk to, myself included, get easily distracted. We have a million things going on in our brain. We have ideas. We want to pursue new initiatives, new projects, new shiny toys like AI, where Hunter talked about, or let's Amber. We have new marketing ideas and we drop the old ones and start the new ones. It's not about just pushing that down or taking drugs even. We talked about that with Cindy, but managing that focus, managing your unique focus, your style of work, so to speak, identifying that and making sure that you're being productive and you're not being that squirrel brained entrepreneur that a lot of times we get caught up in doing. So a lot of cool strategies to identify who you are and how you work best. Cindy helps people through that all the time. And then also just talking about what it looks like to kind of take a step back, don't put somebody else's rules on you, and how to thrive in your own level of productivity and success. I do want to offer another shameless plug here on this one. We can help you identify who and what you are. At HumanUp, that's what we exist to do. Our app is out, it's public, it's in the App Store. If you look up HumanUp in the App Store, or if you go to humanup.com, you can go take our patented assessment and in 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, have a complete diagnostic analysis of who and what you are in the world. So for people with ADHD or who have been diagnosed or undiagnosed, which we talked about with Cindy, it's a powerful tool because, well, that disease doesn't actually exist. I hate to break it to you. It's more of a label we put on a certain set of behaviors. And if you look at it through the lens of our assessment, out of our HumanUp assessment and analysis that you get on the backside, you'll see really what's going on. And often there's a couple of things that within the app, it will give you strategies to overcome that, to harness your productivity, to see how productive you can be at certain times of the day. A lot of different things we can do to avoid a diagnosis, to avoid medication, to really understand why you operate the way you do, and then how to leverage that for your own success. So I strongly encourage you to go download the app. Again, humanup.com. It'll be in the show notes down below. Take the assessment. Invest the 10 to 15 minutes on the backside of that. Read the reports, see what it says about you. It's over 99% accurate. It's the only patented assessment tool in the world. And I haven't found a single person who wasn't blown away by the results. So that's my suggestion. If you are an entrepreneur, you want to get to that next level of success, you want to understand yourself better, and you want to understand how to then be a leader, lead in your own unique way and lead your organization in your unique way. Well, that's the app for you. It's 100% free. It always will be. And we have more paid products. That's how we monetize. But we want everybody to understand at their core who and what they are so that you can take that and actually have success and happiness in the world. It's not that complicated. We just tend to make things complicated as human beings. So go check that out. That's my shameless plug. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a listener and hopefully a subscriber of Harmonious at Lunch. We'll see you back next week with 4 incredible guests. I'm looking at the calendar over here and I absolutely loved these conversations. So much to unpack. We'll see you next week on the weekly update. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those 4 episodes and make sure you tune into them. See you next week. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Harmonious at Lunch podcast. Make sure you subscribe on whatever platform you're on, and we want to invite you to join us in the Small Business Success Facebook group, our private group where guests and listeners come together to grow your business. We want impact-driven entrepreneurs who are ready to go to the next level in this group so we can all share ideas, collaborate, and grow our businesses together. Go to whatif.com/group, and we want to invite you to join today. See you on the next episode of Harmonious at Lunch.